Reading these books at a young age is only going to increase your chances of having a brighter future. All these books are meant for younger age. Hey you guys, welcome back to Live Review. I hope you're doing very nice, and I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending 12 non-fiction books for teenagers. I uploaded a video with top 10 habits for teenagers, and 2 of those habits were related to reading non-fiction books just to increase your knowledge. On that video and otherwise also, I got a lot of questions from you guys, from teenagers. Which book should we start reading with? Which non-fiction book should we be reading that will help us in the long run? I do not want to give you complicated recommendations that you just pick up and it's just too heavy for you and you leave it. Let's begin the video. Even if you're in your 20s and you've never read a book before, if you are above 25, 22, 23, 24, you've just finished college, stuff like that, or you're in college, you can read these books and they're going to be extremely helpful for you. The first recommendation I have for you is Mindful to Mindful by Om Swami. Also, by the way, I've tried to include books in this video that I have not included in the other teenage videos, and this is one of them. Mindful to Mindful by Om Swami will be amazing for you to understand what discipline is, what confidence is, how to manage your anger. It's basically an amazing mental health recommendation for you. As a teenager, it can be difficult for you to understand how to take care of your mental health if you do not have other adult supervision and stuff like that, and this book can be extremely helpful when it comes to that. It gives you the theory how to take care of your mental health, how it affects you in your day-to-day life, and it gives you the practical steps that you can easily do in your life that will help you to maintain your mental health. The next book is for all the spiritual seekers out there. When you're a teenager and you think that you are spiritual or whatever, and you go and talk about it to someone, there's a high possibility that you do not reciprocate in the same way. There's a high possibility that your friends do not reciprocate in the same way, and there is nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own lives going on, and if you are a spiritual person, you want to dive deeper into it, you want to understand what spiritualism is and basically the basics of spiritualism, you should read this, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. It's a very tiny book, but you have to take your time with it. Don't rush with it. This book will help you so much with the spiritual aspect of your life. It will help you to understand the law of pure potentiality, the law of giving and receiving, the law of karma, cause and effect, the law of least effort, the law of intention and desire, the law of detachment, and the law of purpose in life or dharma. Also, if you want to understand the law of attraction, manifestation, instead of reading really thick books on it first, understand the laws that go behind the law of attraction. That always think that the law of attraction, like attracts like, is the only law working for us, and that is the only reason we manifest or get whatever we want, but that's not true. All these laws are very important. So once you understand this, then you read about the law of attraction, it will make more sense to you. Even if you don't read about the law of attraction, once you understand these laws, they're very spiritual, they will increase your knowledge, and it's a good book to start your spiritual journey with. I also read as a teenager, by the way. I read it when I was really young, 13 or 14. At that time also I really liked it, but I did not understand it a lot. Then I read it again when I was 17. Again, I loved it again, and I understood way more than I understood at that time, and now I have to reread it. The next recommendation is for you to improve your communication skills. Communication skills are the best skills you can have for yourself in school, in college, in job, in business, whatever part of life you are in. Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking by Dale Carnegie. Another book, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People, is also about communication, but I feel like that is a more elaborated book, and this is kind of like the concise form of that book. So if you're 25 plus, or if you have read communication books before, then don't read this, then go ahead with How to Win Friends and Influence People. But if you have never read any communication book before and you want to improve it, or you're really young, even 15, 14 years old, go ahead, read this book. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. It will make you understand the staples of communication. It's an amazing book to begin the journey of improving your communication skills over time. Trust me, your communication skills, you are going to love yourself if you invest your time into learning communication skills, because you're going to have a great time when you grow up, or when you go for a job or a business or whatever it is. A lot of times we are so involved in studies, and I'm not saying that studies are not important, but sometimes we're too involved in studies and we do not think about the other skills that we may require. For example, communication skills, negotiation skills. It's very, very important. So take out a little bit of time and read that book. The next book I want to recommend is for you to increase your self-worth and understand that you are a badass, by Jensen Sero. The reason I'm recommending this book is because the language is extremely easy and extremely fun. I could recommend any other book, but when you're a teenager, most of the times you don't want to read something preachy. You want to read someone who is a badass, who is cool, who you know is confident enough to be who they are, who is fun, who is talking to you in an authentic manner like they're sitting in front of you. And Jensen Sero does the same thing through this book. It helps you to stop doubting your greatness and start with an awesome life. Oh my god, teenage is so important for this, even like before you're 25. So this book is actually good for like any age. Obviously it's easy to read, language is easy, it's fun, but in your teenage you may be doubting your self-worth, because a lot of times we think that our self-worth relies in the marks that we're getting or how much we're studying and stuff like that, in our achievements, how many opportunities we're getting and stuff like that. But that's not true, and you need to open your eyes, and Jensen Sero is going to help you do that. The next book is Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. Another very easy to read, very simple book, everything in simple words. There is no going here and there. Very thin also. It won't take a lot of time, but I do suggest you take your time with it. This book is extremely important. You need to understand how the outer circumstances are not something that you always have a control over, but you always have a control over your own attitude. You always have a control over how you look at situations, and once you realize the power of your own attitude, you can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever it is you want to do. It helps you remind yourself of the courage that is within you already. Nothing new, you have it already, but there are so many voices in our head from our surroundings, and this book will help you to clear out those voices and listen to your own head. The next book is a little complicated, and it's for all the teenagers out there who want to read something like heavy, slightly heavier, not something fun. They want to understand like the depth of success. They want to understand what being successful means. They want to understand what is it, like what are the basic requirements to be successful, and it is Road to Success by Napoleon Hill. Now again, another book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that is extremely heavy to read. The language is very, very preachy. The language is preachy in this also, but this seems like a lighter version of Think and Grow Rich. So if you're a teenager, go ahead with this book, like before 25. But if you're above 25, you can go ahead with Think and Grow Rich. That is if you want. Again, the language is preachy. It is simple, but you have to take your time with it. It talks about the 13 laws of success, the 13 principles of success that you require within yourself to achieve success in any part of life. Next up, it does not matter what your reading preferences are or what you want to learn and everything. It's a basic book that everyone should read, and the book is Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma. It has 101 chapters, and each chapter is just of one page. Very short book, very easy to read book, one of the best books by Robin Sharma, because it helps you to understand which habits matter in the long term. What are the things that matter in the long term? When you are on your deathbed, what are the regrets that you can have and how to avoid them, like stuff like that. It's so important to read these because it starts when you're young. All these things, the earlier you start to doing these things, the better for you, the better life you're going to have for yourself. So good. I love this book. It is a very well-rounded book. It talks about your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, how to improve on it. It's theory, it's practical, it's amazing. It's also very cheap. Next book is an optional book. If you want to read something really fun, kiddish, and still get lessons from it, you can read Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. It's an amazing book of 4 little characters, 2 mice and 2 little characters, and they have cheese in their station every single day and they eat it. But one day suddenly the cheese disappears, and you see the difference between the 2 groups of the 2 mini people, how the mice are able to find their way back to the cheese and how the mini people are not able to do so, why they are not able to do so, what are the lessons that they are learning, everything. Next book is The Magic of Tidying by Marie Kondo. You have to read this, okay? You need to understand the concept of what are the kind of things that you should have in life, what are the kind of things that you should not have in life, like materialistically, how a clean space matters, how to take care of your own room, of your own house, how organization matters, how an organized room can give you a lot of space in your head, and how a messy room can mess up with your thoughts too. It's an extremely practical book to read, and it is very easy to read, and if you can learn this at a younger age, you get more time to practice it. Like for example, you are not buying your own stuff right now, your parents buy stuff for you. You can practice the Marie Kondo method and make sure that you're only having things for yourself that spark joy within you. Now when you're practicing like this and your parents are buying stuff for you, when you grow up and you have to buy your own stuff, all your practice period is done and you get to buy only the things that you actually spark joy within you. So it's an amazing book. Go ahead and read it. The next book is for your financial literacy. I talked about this in the Teenage Habits video. It is so important for you to have a healthy money mindset because you are going to grow up just in a few years and you're going to need money. You know, you need money to buy the stuff that you want, you need money to help other people, and you need money to be more of who you are. You need money to spread happiness and positivity in the whole world. I know that a lot of times this is not the notion that we have in our head. According to a lot of people and a lot of thought processes that is instilled in us when we are children, it means like if you want to be rich, it means you're being selfish, and it means that you are not ready to serve the world and that you only care about yourself. But that is not true, and you need to understand this for yourself, which is why Jen Sincero has come to the rescue again. Because of her writing style and because of her language, you are a badass at making money. Nothing crazy in this. Like obviously there are some practical steps and there are certain things that you can do, but you can totally skip them if you are not at that place yet. If you're not an earning member right now, it's completely fine, but it's going to help you to understand the importance of positive beliefs around money. It will help you to instill those beliefs in your head, and it will be amazing if you can have that at a young age, because you won't have to grow up and then do all the work and then reverse all the stories and reverse the narrative in your head and understand money better. You will already have a positive mindset with money, and then you can become rich and help other people. So that'll be really nice. But if you want to read something advanced, this is not for like 13, 14, 15 years old. The Psychology of Money is very, very good. It helps you to understand how money actually works and how hard work is not the only thing you require in order to be rich. You gotta be smart. Smart work is important, time is important, how risks are important, and how calculated risks are better than risks and everything. You need all these things in your favor. That is the reason I'm telling you to read this book when you're young, because time plays a big role in becoming rich. If you can understand how money works at a young age, you can make money work for you at a younger age, and you're gonna have a lot of money in your 30s. The last book I want to recommend is The Compound Effect. Again, it's an extremely important book to read because it helps you to understand how doing a little bit every single day is going to build up to a result that is crazy just after a few years. You read the book, you will understand the entire concept for yourself. You need to understand the importance of doing small, acting small. It always starts small. You never start big. You don't go ahead and just bombard with success in one day. That does not happen, and you need to change the narrative in your head about this also. If you are a perfectionist, if you feel like everything has to be perfect before I start, everything has to be perfect, only then I'll be successful. No, go ahead and read this book and understand the compound effect and how doing a little bit every single day, even if you make mistakes, is way more important than doing 10,000 things in one day. Alright you guys, this is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, share, subscribe, bell button, all those amazing things. I am so happy that I'm making this video because I know for a fact that reading these books at a young age is only going to increase your chances of having a brighter future. All these books are meant for younger age. Like they're meant for any age, but if you're reading them at a younger age and you can have these new positive beliefs or new positive growth mindset, you're going to have amazing 20s and amazing 30s and an amazing life. It's an amazing start to your life. So I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.